So this morning I am thrilled and excited to welcome up one of your classmates to come and to share with all of you her testimony and her story about how God is at work in her. You can go ahead and be seated, but while you sit, go ahead and give her a round of applause as she makes her way up.
Okay, hello? Okay, hi everybody. I know most of you, I'm pretty sure, and some of you may know me, some of you might not. But my name is Makamae Davis. I am a senior here, just like all of you. Some background about me, I was born on Maui, but I've lived in Nanakuli my whole life. I've also gone to Kamehameha schools my whole life, so this will be my 13th year on this campus. And another fun fact about me is that my birthday is on December 21st, and that is just 4 days before Christmas. And a lot of people tell me all the time when they hear that, oh my gosh, isn't it so cool that your birthday is so close to Christmas? And I tell them no, well, at least growing up. And it's because if you're a December baby, maybe you struggle with this too, but when you get presents, people tend to only give you one for both Christmas and your birthday. If your birthday is like in any other month, you get a birthday present and a Christmas present, but I only get a birthday and a Christmas present. And as a selfish little kid, that would always bother me. But it wasn't until last year that I finally realized how blessed I am to say that my birthday is so close to Jesus's, and how blessed I am to have received the gift of Emmanuel. So Emmanuel, by definition, means God with us in the Bible. And that's one of the names that was given to Jesus. And a lot of us know the Christmas story by now, how Mary, or the angel came to the Virgin Mary. Her and Joseph went to Bethlehem, and she gave birth in a manger. But I think a lot of us forget that this is more than just a story. It's the beginning of our salvation, and it's the beginning of my testimony, your testimony, and every single testimony in this room. So I'm going to share a little bit about mine. So growing up, I was always the kid who was the butt kisser. I loved to have good grades. I loved to be the one who all the moms would tell my mom, oh, Makamae, she's so good. She's so sweet. She's so helpful. I loved being the one that adults could count on, and I loved the compliments that came from it. But as I got older, trying to be liked by adults and parents started to change into something else. I grew so desperate for approval that I started chasing it in all the wrong places. In middle school and high school, yeah, maybe back in elementary, being the good, smart, know-it-all, maybe people liked you for that. But in middle school and high school, that tends to not be the case. People tend to like the person who will gossip with them, who will go to parties and get drunk with them, who will lie with them, who will hide things from their friends' parents, and so forth. And I became that girl. I wanted to fill the emptiness inside of me, and it looked like talking to multiple guys, lying to my parents, hiding things, a swearing word coming out of my mouth every other word, and being cruel, honestly. It even led to vaping, drinking, and all of those things. And it wasn't just me. It was my whole household. There was a lack of faith in our house, and it tore my family apart. Anytime my parents would ask me, hey, why are you doing this? Hey, what's going on? We're worried about you. I was too prideful. I thought I was good enough to do those things. I thought they'll never find out, and I rebelled. We constantly fought, and our home was full of tension. Even though we knew God, we didn't live for Him. And when you don't live for God, sin will run your life, and it ran mine. Eventually, we hit a point where everything hit rock bottom, and my family was on our last thread. There were talks of divorce, and if you know my parents, my mom is a principal, and my dad is a football coach, and our family does everything together. So hearing that word divorce, it shook me to my core, and it hurt. And I wasn't mentally okay. None of us were in the house. We loved each other so much, but sin had taken over our household, and we had no peace, no direction, and no sense of hope. But one person who didn't even know me that well kept inviting me to church, and that changed everything. One person who refused to give up on me kept inviting me because they knew if I understood what Emmanuel meant, which means God with us, it could save me and it could save my household. And that's exactly what it did. So one day, after the nagging invite, after I was like, oh, I'm so sick of her asking me to come, but I'm just gonna go because I wanna get out of the house. I got up and I went. I went to church that day not to receive anything, but just to be away from all the things that were happening in my house. Just an excuse to get out. And thank God I accepted that invite. During worship, the song that we just listened to, Goodness of God by CeCe Winans, came on. And it says in the song, your goodness is running after me. It's running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender now. I give you everything. And it was in that moment where I finally encountered Jesus for myself. And not the version I grew up about hearing in chapel when I'm maybe on my phone and half listening to other people, but where God fully encountered me and I got to experience his goodness. I got to experience a love that chases after you and runs for you, a goodness that you can't find it anywhere in this world. You can't find it by doing the things that maybe you are doing right now, by talking to multiple people, by lying and hiding and taking things and talking bad about people. And so God showed me my sin in that moment, and he showed me my sin not to shame me, but to free me from it. He showed me that no amount of lying, partying, gossiping, drinking, and vaping, fake friendships, relationships, or even striving to be the best in the classroom could fill the thing that only he could fill. He showed me that I wasn't a good person who made mistakes. I was genuinely a sinner who needed saving, and he came to save me. And from that moment on, one by one, my household started to turn towards God. First my dad, then my mom, and now my brothers. I've watched God heal my entire family, and we've turned from the world and towards Jesus. I'm blessed to say that I got baptized and I go to church every week. I get to experience Emmanuel every day by talking with him, having a relationship with him, and praying with him. And because of Jesus, I know that if anything ever happened to me or my family, I'll see them again in heaven one day. And that's the gift of Christmas. That's what Emmanuel means, and it's a gift for all of you too. The birth of Jesus wasn't just a cute scene with shepherds or angels. It was the beginning of a rescue mission. God stepped into our broken world because we could never save ourselves. Jesus was born so that he could one day die on the cross and pay the price for our sin, which includes my sin and which includes all of yours. And until we understand that we need him so badly, then I don't think anybody ever truly understands what Christmas means. In Luke chapter 19:10, it says, "For the Son of Man came to seek and save the lost." And that's what he did for me, and that's what he can do for every single one of you in this room. Before all of that change happened in my life, living in the world was dark. I kept trying to convince myself, I'm happy, but I'm not. I wasn't, and I was empty, in fact. Sin, it tends to feel harmless at first, but it slowly destroys you from the inside out. It steals your peace, your identity, your joy, and your purpose, and you don't even know that it's happening to you. And the worst part of it all was that I still tried to justify myself. I said, hey, I have all A's, so I might as well just do this. I'm a good kid anyways. Or hey, at least I'm not as bad as that girl who's doing what she's doing. And that mentality isn't right either. I thought I was safe because I believed in God and I heard about him. I came to this school my whole life. I sat in every chapel service and I knew Bible stories. I knew who Moses was. I knew who Joseph is. He's the father of Jesus. But that's the lie that so many of us fall into, thinking that being around God is the same as being surrendered to him. So a lot of us know the term lukewarm, and you hear it a lot when Christian preachers speak. And maybe you've heard it before, maybe you haven't. But lukewarm is when you're in the middle. It's when you're not hot, when you're not cold, you're just warm. And lukewarm isn't just something junk when it comes to our faith. Lukewarm is deadly. Lukewarm is when you say you love God, but you still cling to the things that are killing you. Lukewarm is when you know the truth, but still choose the world because it feels easy. Lukewarm is when you convince yourself that God should be grateful for the small pieces of your heart that you're willing to give to him. The 2-second prayer at the end of the day. But it's not enough. God wants so much more of us, and he is so deserving. And I lived like that. Halfway in, halfway interested, and halfway obedient. And it was so empty. I didn't realize God was the reason that I didn't realize my lack of having God in my life was the reason that I had no peace. And God doesn't want half of you. He doesn't want you when it's convenient for you. He wants your whole heart, because anything less will leave you broken. I learned the hard way that you can't claim Jesus and still run to the very things he came to free you from. And yes, showing up is a start, but doesn't God deserve so much more? Because that's God deserves so much more, and he wants surrender, because that's the only real way that transformation can begin. So my prayer for you all is that today you don't just hear a story, you hear an invitation. God with us means all of us. It doesn't just mean me. It doesn't just mean Kahu. It doesn't just mean your pastors and the adults. It means God with all of us, which means you. You who are sitting there in the pews listening, it means you. God can do what he did for me, for you, for your family, for your friends. And he loves you so much to leave you in your sin. He came so that you could be forgiven, redeemed, restored, and made new. So I ask you today to make that decision to separate yourself from the partying, from the gossip, from the friends who are leading you down the wrong path, from the cussing and all the other things, and turn towards Emmanuel, because he wants to be with us and redeem us. But we need to turn towards him first. If I can be that one invite for you folks, here it is, guys. God is so good. And there are so many opportunities for you to get plugged in, to get connected here on this campus. We have small groups that are starting to pop up all over the place from different churches, different people. There's freshmen to seniors on this chapel team who will stand with you and pray with you. There are teachers like Kumu Kaulana and Kumu Nadia, Kahu, people who will pray for you and stand in the gap. We have morning prayers in Kekuanau at 2:18 every morning. And I encourage you to show up. The invite is here, and the healing is worth it. His goodness is running after you. So when you get your presents this year and when you go look under the tree, remember that the gift of Emmanuel, or Jesus, and his love and forgiveness is also under that tree too. But it's a gift you have to make, the choice to accept and to look for. Happy holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas. And better yet, God bless.